Yeah. So it's like, wow, you know what I mean?
Warning: this podcast episode discusses sensitive topics, including mental health, abuse, and suicide. The content may be distressing or triggering for some listeners. If you or someone you know is struggling, please consider seeking support from a mental health professional or contacting a crisis helpline in your area. Listener discretion is advised.
Welcome to the Heart to Mic podcast. I'm your host, Stephanie Cherono. Here we celebrate the power of authentic conversations, and together we'll explore our emotions, challenges, and growth through powerful storytelling. And today, guys, first of all, remember Nisishike mic, but sorry. It's one of those things where you just don't know how to not do it, but I'll try my best not to. But today, we're talking about one of my favorite things, which is fitness. And there's someone, a lady in particular, who really inspires me when it comes to fitness. I think I met her in the last maybe 6 months to a year. And the fact that she is a mother, a wife, but still is a beast in the gym inspires me so much. And there's so many other things that I admire about her. But I will let her just do the honors of introducing herself.
Oh, wow. I didn't know it was all that.
You are.
Thank you, Stephanie. My name is Laura Awuor. I'm a mother of 3 lovely children. I'm 33 years of age. I'm a professional as well. I'm a finance expert. I am married to one husband, a daughter, the only daughter to my mother, a sister, a good friend, and above all, a fitness enthusiast. It's a field that has brought me a lot of pride, and it has shown me I can do so many things as a person. So yeah, that's part of me that is showing up today.
We can also have other parts of you showing up today. But Laura, I think for me, one of the things that really drew me to you is like there are no excuses in this life for you. You worked out through all your 3 pregnancies. Let's start there. And that is just mind-blowing to me. Because, small period, I'm just like, I'm not coming on my period. And you're the first one to tell me, friend, it's not a disability. You can come to the gym.
You should come to the
gym. So I really admire the discipline that you have when it comes to fitness. But generally, I think that oozes into all other aspects of your life. So how long have you been in the gym?
Wow. I've been in the gym for a long time. But I'd like to correct a phrase you said. I've been in the gym with all my 4 children. No. I've been in the gym. I only worked out in the gym when I was pregnant with my last Ida, the last baby now. Not to say that she's my last born. There are many to come.
Ooh.
But the first 3, the other 3, including my late daughter, I wasn't in the fitness world. I wasn't in the gym. I was out there living my so-called best life and eating crap and doing the best I could. But I've been in the gym for about this year, September 1st, will make it a cool 4 years straight with no breaks and no regret. Yeah.
And what really drives you? Because I think, first also another thing that I discovered whilst we were having conversations and everything, in the midst of our workout, we share a trainer. So shout out to Sam, Legit Fitness. He is another beast that just takes us through intense workouts. But I think I remember when I was switching trainers, one of the things that drew me to him is like he not only gives workouts, but he's also like a very motivator when it comes to the workouts themselves. He wants you to push you. So if you start a set with like 10 kgs, the next one has to be 12, and the next one after that has to be 14 kgs. And for me, being in a place where I was comfortable with the weights that I was lifting, to now discover this world where there's more and more and more, I think it opened up my brain to so many possibilities. And I don't know how you do it all. you know, like being a mom and being a wife and being in business, but also maintaining that. And also on top of that, you've been sober your whole life.
Yeah.
Tell me about that. Because, you know, we get influenced. I think me, I only started drinking because my friends were drinking. Yeah. It's a habitual, like, behavior. You pick it up because the people around you are doing it. It may seem cool also at the time. And maybe those are the things that put you in the social spaces that you want to be in. How did you navigate that?
When I was younger, I think at your age now, 19 through to 20,
I promise I'm not 19.
Marriage, right before marriage, I got married quite early.
Yeah.
First of all, so in my younger days, I did what I could do at the time. So I did the alcohol and whatnots. But then my turnaround time came when I met my husband. He was such a successful young engineer in this country, and with him came a lot of lessons I learned, and one of them was sobriety. It didn't make you cool. Drunk and drinking and drunkenness wasn't cool anymore after meeting him. Like you've said, it's most of us do it from an influence point. It's not something we are taught at home.
For sure.
We didn't grow up doing it. We didn't grow up seeing our parents do it.
Exactly,
It's some of us, it's sheer influence to fit in, look cool, look like the rest of our friends. So my turning point was when I met the man.
How old were you when you got married?
I was 23 years. Yeah. Got married 23. Got my first child at 23.
Wow.
Got my career. Got into the career I am in at 21. So I think my life have always been doing things quite early.
Yeah.
I don't know whether it's because I'm a first child, so firstborns you're
setting the bar.
Yeah, you there's an expectation by default or so to speak, that you have to be a good example. So I've found myself in these spaces quite early. Yeah. And to draw back to your question, how I do it in the fitness. In the words of Maya Angelou, you have to spare a part of yourself to make it crisp and clean. With a part of you has to stay unviolated, because you don't know, those are places where you might just meet your God. So until there's a space that is clean and crisp, you draw your strength from there, you draw your grace from there, you draw your favors from there. I don't think you've enjoyed the world. You will not enjoy the world. God meets you at your peaceful places. So create that space. So how do I create that space? I find time to create that space while I'm in the gym. I take that time, the early morning, to fill my cup. So when I'm able to lift a 50 kg dumbbell weights and whatnot, I'm showing my body that you can do it. I'm showing my mind that you can do it. When we are trained by the same trainer, he comes up with crazy reps.
I'm not even joking.
Crazy sets. So one morning he's just like, we have to do 60 reps of inner set. What does that? I think he's out there to challenge all of us.
For sure. I think that's the one thing that sets him apart from other trainers.
Yes. So, and I think it's intentional.
Very.
Very intentional. Yeah. So when he comes up with these figures and you're doing 100 burpees at a go, when you what's the feeling when you're finishing the 100th one?
I feel like it's a sense of victory. First of all, because I'm usually very upset and vocal in the beginning, because I'm like, now why are you giving us 100 reps? But I think also the fact that it's a group full of, he only trains women as far as we are concerned. I think there's only one guy who shows up once in a while, but like for the most part, it's just women. And I think for me, one thing that motivates me so much is like, if she can do it, we have the same body, we go through the same things, the same hormones, probably are on our period at the same time.
Yeah.
And we are both doing the 100 reps.
And who wants to miss that feeling?
No one.
Exactly. So the fact that you can push it every day, I think
Yeah.
I draw my strength from there. Like yesterday, I was able to do 100 burpees. Laura, today you must show up and surely do 120.
For sure, because you already beat the record of 100. So you
Yeah.
might as well go higher.
Exactly. So that's what has kept me in that space this
Yeah.
long.
Yeah.
And I enjoy it. And yeah.
That's really nice, guys. That's really nice. I'm 26, turning 27, and I think more often than not we look at marriage as such a scary field space, and I think this comes from the stats. I don't think marriage has good PR in Nairobi. I think very many people are out to also put out the negative bits of marriage, or maybe just showcase that, but it's very rare that we see marriages that are working and that are healthy. And for you to get married young, did you know what exactly you were signing up for, or was it those things that you learn as you go?
I can't say for sure. I knew that I had the roadmap and all clear, and this is what I want to do. This is what marriage will look like, because you're going in there with zero experience. Yeah, you are creating your own experience.
Yeah.
But again, my consolation to the young people who are looking to get into it is there's nothing new under the sun. So there are people who've gone before you, have had the experiences, they have had their story to write. So choose the conversations you want to read and go by to guide your path. And this is an institution that was luckily made by God himself. We are not we're not the authors of this
Marriage,
narrative. Yeah, we found it here. It was an institution blessed by God himself. So take consolation that it's something he started himself. So he will be in it. He will ensure it runs as smooth as possible. And even when it is hard, he'll be there to hold your hands as long as you seek him while at it. And the two marriages between two people. I believe if you play your part as it was designed by God, it should be a wonderful journey, not easy, but manageable. And it should be enjoyable. We at the garden, I believe the maker made it clear and gave us roles that the woman, you will do this, this, and this. The snake, this is your portion. The man, you will work hard to be able to eat and provide. So if we go in it with our strengths and portion given by him, it is easier. Not to say that it is smooth, but it is easier.
Because being married for now 10 years,
Yeah.
and with children, and I know the dynamics change when kids are involved.
Yeah.
But like, is there like a parenting skill, or like things that you've picked up from your parents that you now implemented with your kids, or were you just coming together with your husband to find things that would work in the pursuit of having healthy like relationships and a healthy upbringing for your children?
Yeah, yes and no, because first things first, you're two people intentionally coming together to bring up a beautiful generation, which is very different. My husband is in his well into his 40s. I'm into my 30s, so we're in different generations as a people. The parent in this setup, we are bringing up children, and parenting has no manual. There's no book you can live by, but you can be guided by the Bible. We are believers, and we draw our guides and our way of bringing up these children by how God commands it. We might not be perfect, but we try. There's no I keep telling my very good friend Millicent.
Oh, shout out to
There's-
Millicent. She's another beast in the gym when I fight. God. Let me tell you guys, commercial break for Millicent. Millicent and Laura give me peer pressure, guys. And it's one of those things where I feel like whenever I'm in the gym, I have two big sisters that I have to impress. And I love that genuinely because I'm usually just like, if they're doing it in their 30s, what is my excuse? So shout out to you, Millicent.
Like I tell Millie, a trying parent is much better than a perfect parent, because in perfection you are missing out on a lot. So if you're trying to portray a picture of a perfect mother, a perfect father, there's no such thing. On what basis? On what lens are you looking at it? It varies from person A to person B. Perfect parenting to Stephanie might not be
the
perfect parenting
to Laura.
How about we redefine the narrative and say, are trying, Stephanie, are trying to remove the pressure of your
perfection,
body. Because in the face of in the journey of life, you're walking this path as Laura, you're walking this path as Stephanie. You're walking the path of life with now my children, Alisa, Aidan, and Ida, walking with them and not for them. So in it, just try and give it your best. But if you're looking for perfection, you will leave the world a miserable person. So let's just remove perfection from such heavy duties like parenting and wives and friendship and
as long as you're trying.
Yes,
the
trying.
efforts.
Yeah. I would rather go for effort than perfection.
I'm learning so many things about you as we are speaking, guys. I'm so impressed. I told this guy, the babe that is coming. she's serious. But I think as
pressure.
There's no pressure. Friend, you've lived up to the standards. If anything, these expectations that you say we should not have, I had them and now you've exceeded them. So that's great. But as you're talking, I think I'm picking up so many bits of faith. And I'm also a Christian and I'm navigating so many things. I've been raised in a Christian background. My mom has been a Christian all her life, and her prayers is what has brought us to where we are as kids. I do believe that faith looks different for many people. I think for me, I was almost inheriting her faith because we woke up and let's go to church on Sunday. Let's do this. There's not once that there was a routine. Before we go to bed, we have to sit down and have prayers. But it's only when I became an adult, when I was 24, that I decided to pursue a relationship with God. And it has, every single day I learn something new. And I think being as intentional as I possibly can with trying to find out how gracious he can be or the things that he has done from reading his word, etc., makes me want more people to experience it. So I think knowing and hearing that there's a basis and a foundation of faith from you, I'd like to know, like, how is that, like, from your parents' POV? Were you raised in church, or is it something that you pursued yourself? Or are you continuing pursuing it yourself, or is it just based on influence?
I cannot say that I was I picked up faith from where I was born and raised. Fine, we went to church every Sunday with my mother especially, not so of my father. But I intentionally decided to create a relationship with God, of course, after introduction, proper introduction to him and with him through my husband.
So your husband is a believer as well?
Yes, a very strong believer. He's those people who would wake up in the night
to pray,
to have his own time with his maker. And you would at times eavesdrop. There's a time I stayed with my brother before he became stable to be independent in the city to live by himself. We would eavesdrop at his door when he's praying, and you'd hear some personal conversations with God, like, it's time to show the world that you are my friend. If you do not make this come through for me, nobody will. You know, such statements, you make them.
Oh, friend, I'm going to cry.
You know, I know they're very touching. You
Yes.
should hear his conversations. These are things we approach prayer as just and faith is different for everybody. And faith is not a one size fit all.
Yeah.
But I tend to think that once you do it right by the fellow man, the person right next to you, you're being good to God. So
Like loving your neighbors, you
as
love yourself. Yeah.
Such basic instructions. So if we live by such basic instructions, I think you're walking a path of faith, whether intentionally or so. How you want to define it is up to you. But my language of faith, I was purely taught by. I can say I was taught by my husband. Yes, I did. I didn't walk maturely in it before then, but now I walk maturely in it, courtesy of him.
What does that look like when you talk about walking maturely in it? Is it through like the devotions? How does your like a morning routine look like when it comes to like devotion and time with God?
First of all, God is a God of is very intentional. So I don't treat him casually, because if he treated me casually, I don't know where I would be now. So I don't treat that relationship casually. I'm intentional as I possibly can. I am an early riser, so I would wake up as early as 3 a.m. And the first thing is to have an interaction with him. And it's usually like, I'm literally talking to a friend. Like, Father, thank you that I'm awake. I'm about to go to the gym and Sam is going to kill me, but please make sure I don't die. And this, obviously we share a room with my husband. So, and this man has snored the entire night. I've not had a good rest, but let it not show that I've not had a good rest.
Give me strength.
Yes, give me strength. This child, my little one, she's 1 year old right now. She sleeps with us in the room. So she has her good days, her good nights, and some nights are not so easy. So when the night has been rough, I say, you didn't give Ida a peaceful night. What was that all about? And please, tomorrow, make it better. We can't go like this for more than 2 days. I might break down. And me breaking down, there's so many ripple effects, which we don't want to put into account now. So make it better tomorrow. I am on my way to the gym. At times, I do not even have fuel to fuel my car but I know you're a God of provision. You will provide. Make it an easier day for me at work. Make sure that I show up in these spaces in the best capacity that I can. There's a lot that depends on me today. Make it an easy day. Just like that, you're done with your devotion. I get down to my kitchen, prepare the kids snack. They carry snacks to school. I prepare that, go back, prepare myself for the gym, and show up at the gym on time, always.
Oh, she's always the first one. You just see that car in the parking, you're like, damn it, I wish I got here before you.
Yeah.
I think generally, as even we're having this conversation, I am feeling the Holy Spirit here, friend.
Oh. Let my work here start.
Yes, I'm feeling it so... It's like I'm taking some time to process it, because I didn't even know exactly. I think I remember when I was discussing this podcast with you in the gym, you were like, I remember there's one day, distinctive day, and I don't even think we had started training together at the time. And you just told me there's something about you, you're going to go far, things of that nature. And I was like, you don't know me, ma'am. You don't know me. Like, what is it that you've seen in me that, provokes the idea of you're going to do well and you're going to succeed? But I'm seeing that, iron sharpens iron, and I feel like you're sharpening me as we speak. Wow. I'm even shaking, guys.
Don't shake. You make me shake.
I feel like it's so beautiful to see this, and I think we often just to a point we glorify and publicize the bad stuff. It's very rare for us to see marriages that are working, see routines that are working, to see a person of faith that is still pursuing it, to see a life of sobriety that actually works. I think in our life right now, so many people are struggling with so many things and different level of addictions, and so am I. But like, to see that this reality exists and can be achieved for us is very, very inspiring. And I just want to like applaud you, friend. Like,
Thank you.
taking back to like our first interaction, one of the few things you were just like, you're going to go far. And I to this day, I don't know what instigated that statement. It just sits well with me because I'm like, that's one of the few things that has drawn me to you is that you are huge on affirmations. You really pour into me, and I believe that transcends into every other person. But like, now that we're here, I'd like to know where that stemmed from.
Oh, okay. I'd seen you at the gym
Yeah.
for quite a while.
Yeah.
We've had our own interactions at face value and deeper conversations. But I was meeting you outside the gym through social media for the first time, and this was on Instagram. So bounced on you on Instagram and scrolling your page. I literally became an ambulance. Wow. How can somebody transform like this? There must be something.
Yeah.
And I realized I was speaking to the one of the biggest makeup artists in this country. And I was like, this is a young lady commanding spaces where and being a giant in fields where have been conquered by mighty people before. The power of transformation by makeup to both men and women. It's a big and powerful industry, and to see you get space in such complicated spaces means something. So there's power in that, and there is strength in that, and if you've never had it before, you're going places. I can your content comes to comparison with the people like Rihanna. I was speaking to a young cousin of mine, people of your age, and they're like, Stephanie Cherona? I was like, yeah. Why? How do you know her? I'm like, we work out in the same gym, have same trainer. Has she ever done your makeup? No, she's never done my makeup. Why? So they seem very intrigued by you. So if you don't know the kind of you have so much influence. So that is power given to you by sheer hard work or so. But I think God is placing you intentionally so and strategically so in these spaces for you to make a difference. So don't use the space, the powerful space you're in, to make the difference you need to make.
It's so funny that you've said that because, try it. I'm just being overwhelmed. But like, one of the reasons why I started the Heart to Mic podcast was, I appreciate the favor that I've received through my art, my artistry. And unfortunately, the makeup industry is now for a long time was in a place of so much facade. Like, you almost assumed that if you don't look like this, then you're not good enough type of thing. And there's always deeper stories than what you see in face value. There's always an underlying source of strength, power, or pain that fuels someone to start something. So one of the things that I wanted to do also with this platform is for the audience to see me beyond my artistry, because you put out perfect pictures, again, the wow ambulance situation. You put up perfection, but like, people can only relate to you once they hear what comes from it. And truth be told, my love for makeup came from a source of pain. It was a release for a long time, which is why I put so much time and close to 9 years of my life in that. However, there's more to that than just makeup. There's more to Stephanie than just makeup, which is why I created a platform where we can have conversations that will help people get to live a better life, maybe get into fitness, have a better idea and better mindset when it comes to marriage and Christianity, that it's not as boring as you think it is, and just genuinely having a fulfilling life regardless of the pain that we may have gone through, because not everyone has a good background. I didn't have one, but when you look at my page, it seems like I have it all figured out, so which is why I came up with this platform. So thank you for saying that.
Yeah, and plus the aside from the beauty that is captured in there, I feel like there's a deeper story into it. If you look and intentionally look into it, especially when you're speaking to your audience while doing the makeup, there's a lot of lessons that I personally have drawn quite a bit from them. And I think the young people are I think young and old, I could say, if I'm learning and I'm the old version, so it means the young and the old are both learning from it. So don't look back, and if you're looking back, you should only be drawing lessons from your journey, your prior journey. I could see there was beyond the beauty that and transformation that makeup does. There was a deeper conversation in the content you've put out there.
That is so nice to hear. Mashallah. It's almost like I'm just going to say, let's wrap it up, guys. Thank you for the information. But one of the things that also we speak about a lot is like books. Yeah, and you're like an avid reader. And you intimidated me so much because you're like, me, I finished this book and there's a book you owe me, friend.
I know.
Yes.
I even thought you were gonna
come with it today.
I'm still looking for this book.
Could you tell them the title of the book you're looking for?
The title of the book is The Richest Man in Babylon.
Why do you think I need to read this book?
Let me take a few steps back. Okay. Yeah. I was not one of those people who are just born into this reading culture. My brother is a very big into the reading culture. Growing up, I would see him have sessions with my mother. They're competing, and whoever is reading more would pay the other. I was not part of that. Count me out.
Yeah.
I think I was introduced into the culture by one of my bosses, our former regional directors, called Depros Muchena. Intentionally told me that pick up this space and you will see changes in your life. And truly so, I picked up and I've seen changes in my life, be it mentally, spiritually, intellectually, how I think, how I speak, how I sit, it just changes you. So I would thank him for that. So why I would I have my own copy of this book, The Richest Man.
But you want to give it to your daughter.
But I'm intentionally keeping it for my daughter.
That is so nice.
I hope she would be able to learn big lessons from it. And it's a book I believe young women should read it. There's a lot of lessons. I cannot. I wish I knew you were going to ask about it. I would have had a whole thought process around it. But it's a good book that guides you on your finances. In the current times we are in now, if you have your finances wrong, I'm sorry, darling, it's not going to happen.
You're really shouting at
depression for a long time to come.
And I think for me, what happens when it comes to finances, I'm also in the process of like learning to manage my money. And I have been graceful and blessed to have earned so much money in the years of my career. But it's only now that I'm seeing how much money I have lost
in the process.
Because my priorities were not fixated in the growing of my money or the investing of my money, because I was not privy to this information anyway. It's only now that there's money in a circle, there's money in my savings account, there's money that I'm using for my day to day, and I have to almost, I don't live the lifestyle that I used to live before, because it always looked like I had money before, but now I'm living my life on a budget, so to speak, because I'm thinking of the future, and before I never used to think about the future. Yeah. So I think that book for sure is going to help. And also I want to go to Centonomy and just learn how to manage money before I make any big investments and big ventures in my business. But
the book will give you light, it will guide you and what to do with the little before you have the capacity to manage the big, until you learn how to when God was blessing Moses and everybody in the Bible, he would always he asked Moses, what is in your hand? So give him something to work with. So until you learn how to manage the little in your hand, you might never know how to manage when the granaries are full. You would still operate as poor when that time comes.
Because it's a mindset. I think that scarcity mindset of thinking that, and it's so many times that you've told me, hey, when I just have 1,000 bob in my pocket, and I'm like, what do you mean you have 1,000 bob in your pocket? You're one of the most successful people I know. But it's a fact that you're always drilling money into your businesses, drilling money into your home, drilling money into the things that you care about. That in face value it looks like you have everything figured out, but money is going to other areas for the future, I'm assuming. I think for us, our generation, we're always thinking of how we're going to live our best lives right now. And it's the previous guest that I had, like in episode 6, was a friend of mine called Simba, who for him, he takes calculated risks. So like when it comes to buying his car or investing in something, he will wipe out his savings for the sake of something, almost as if he knows that it will bear fruit. And the fruit doesn't have to be tangible. It doesn't have to be like a return when it comes to money. But it comes with, maybe you're putting yourself in a space where you'll interact with people who will impact your thinking, who will impact your finances, who will impact your network. And investment can look like different things. I think we always think of what is it going to give me in return. Yeah. And I don't know, as a generation, I think we're all just struggling with the idea of saving and investment and putting money aside, because we also, again, social media makes you want to feel like you need to live a certain life. There's a way, because you have 70,000 followers, how can you not be driving a Harrier or like a Lexus, or like why the pressure. And for me, it made me pull back on like the information that I share and how much I bring people into my life, because I'm like, I don't want to set expectations, but also that limited my level of creativity, because I'm like, it's almost like you're putting me in a box, and now I've accepted to be put in this box. Yeah. So I'm now in a space where I'm allowing myself to learn in the process and make mistakes, but also I'm very much aware of the impact of the now, what I do now and how it will impact me in the future. Before, I thought that I'll probably get married and my husband will figure out the house, will figure out this. Me, I'll just be there. And also, we're in a generation where if a man does not provide or pay the bills or doing all these things, then he's not worth your time.
No.
And I don't believe it either. I feel like maybe believe in partnership.
Yes, it should be partnership.
Yeah.
It's much easier when you look at it that way. And again, bringing you back to the book, why I think young people, we might seem to have to think that we have the time, but how I wish we say the time is now. Learn these things early, learn them young, make the mistakes now, grow in your mistakes, and don't dwell in them. And I think success should be defined by yourself. So every time, for example, when you're in the gym, you'd hear me ask Sam all the time, what does success look like? When he's demonstrating for us a workout. I usually ask, what does success look like? So you demonstrate, just not demonstrating, but make it a purposeful demonstration. Make it sink. And so live your life like that. Ask yourself, what does success look like?
Now.
And yes, and this success, is it for me or for social
People,
media?
yeah.
Half the time, you are one person who has 1 million followers.
Oh, we hope. I hope after this podcast.
How many of those do you know in person?
None. Okay.
Very few of us.
Yeah,
that
like
you
100.
know in person.
Yeah.
So will you live your life based on their 1 million people, or will you live your life based on Stephanie? What success looks like for Stephanie, or what success looks like for a 1 million people? It's not possible to live life for success for 1 million people. You will not come out of it alive. So define success in your own terms. What does success look like for Laura? And grow by that. And consistency is key. One thing I can tell you, for example, in just my fitness journey, I started this journey about 4 years ago at 107 kilos.
Wow.
Yeah. So I walked into a gym, and believe it or not, I was one of those people would look at and stare at and stop their workout to see whether I will be able to jump. And
Wow.
so, Millie, I'm going to put you on the spot.
Millie was one of them.
Millie was one of them.
And it's a birth of a great friendship.
So they would look at you and wonder, ataruka.
Ataweza.
Ngoje.
Yeah.
But I for sure, be it by upbringing or how I was designed, is I don't leave a space until I'm done. I'm like Jacob. I will not leave this place until you bless me.
Oof.
I made sure I made a difference. When I was leaving the gym, my former gym at Embakasi, I had people follow me behind. And the owner categorically calls me in the morning and tells me, you have brought the morning show at a standstill. Just by sheer leaving. I said, I did not leave. I was going to a different place that would, space that would allow me to grow. The space, God had blessed me there. So I was going to look for a different set of, the next level of blessing. And it was not going to find me here. It was going to find me in my next stop. And so to speak, September, I was scheduled to start a mentorship program with Sam, and we're still walking the journey though. He's supposed to mentor me into becoming a trainer as well.
Ooh.
So we were to start. I was supposed to leave the rest of you and start my own set of workout myself differently to be able to.
I can
grow
see that though.
But then he told me, look, if you left this group, many of them will not be able to stand.
That's true.
They draw a lot of strength from you. So if it is still within you, let's just do it from here. And believe me, you'll still get what you're looking for. You will either carry heavier, go more reps or whatever, but
you need to be in the presence of these women.
Yes, they count. I think they count on you.
I can tell you for free, we do. Yeah.
Oh, really?
We do. Yeah. If Laura's done it, then if Laura's come, we are coming.
You know.
Yeah.
And I was just looking back and said, maybe God, you're using me
for sure.
Continue using me. If that was your will, then let me just stay in this space. I'd even opted to go to
a different gym?
Advanced
Jesus,
fitness.
girl. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Then some told me no.
You'll hurt our feelings.
We can't do that. You have to stay here.
Yes.
And you will get to the finish line, but from here.
I love that. Shout out to Sam.
Fine.
He saved our lives. Because now where would you go?
I'm looking for different things.
God.
But yeah, I still think I'm enjoying, and it's still living the purpose that I wanted it to do. So just to again, the moral of the story is I am those people who believe that when I show up in a space, let me leave as a blessing.
Oh, and you do
not,
every day. I'll tell you for
Not a
free.
pain. I hope I'm able to live by those standards in a long time to come, in the rest of my lifetime. And if I'm not, let me groom a young one to, and truly I'm grooming my daughter to be one of those people.
And not just your daughter. I think even just from this interaction, again, I'm just marveling. Friend. And I'm not gassing you up or anything. It's just, it's always nice to see what lies beyond what we see face value. I think when I watch you in the gym, I'm always just like, is she upset? Like, why is she? What's up? Like, do you want to talk about it? Like, we're here for you. I promise we're here for you. But over time, I noticed that there was so much joy that came from it. And now to know that it's tied to your purpose in regards to, I do feel like generally you've been put in that group to be a source of motivation for the rest of the women. We only decided to come to this trainer called Sam because you went there first, you and Millie. And then we decided, okay, fine, we are joining. And when we joined, I think immediately my strength, my consistency changed. Although I do take my breaks and I generally do not like play about that. It is very different. It's a different energy. It feels like you're leading the pack, and because of you we will do this thing. And I think maybe that's also a form of ministry, you know, in one way or another. That's a form of ministry.
Exactly.
Wow. I've really enjoyed this conversation. Good. I have one last question. Like in regards to friendships, do you have a big circle of friends, or are you small knit? And how does that gel into your very, very busy schedule? How does friendship look like? I know you said trying Laura and a trying friend, but like, what does that look like in us, especially for someone who's a mom and a wife? In what capacity do they show up for you, and vice versa?
Friendship is a big relationship. It should not be treated or given light effort. It's a relationship that requires intentionality, presence, resources, time, and prayer as well. So therefore, I can say I'm one that has very few friends, but a couple of acquaintances. So
I hope I'm not an acquaintance.
No, you're a friend.
Okay, great.
You're a friend.
She took a while to answer that question, guys. I know you saw that pause.
I didn't see that coming.
Okay, fine.
Steph!
They're gonna cut the cameras. She needs to leave.
So I would say I'm one with a very small, neat circle of friends.
Yeah.
And who I believe they know I try to be there. I try to be intentional. I try to be present whenever they need me. So it's a very small circle. I think I only have about 5 or 3 friends, people who I know when I call on them, they will show up.
Yeah.
Because we only have 24 hours in a day. So between these 24 hours, my time is split of being an employee, being a mom, being
A wife.
being myself, being a wife, being your friend. So it can be much, but I hope they know that I'm here. And I hope they have seen that I can show up, and I hope I am enough.
Oh, you're definitely enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are.
I can only try.
You can only try. When, how are you feeling? You were very nervous in the beginning of this conversation.
This was the easiest conversation I've had amidst strangers. The people in the background. Can I mention their names?
Pops and Kefa, Perpetual.
I'm meeting them for the very first time, but they made it quite easy to settle in and come in and show up in the most authentic way I can.
You did great.
Yeah, I tried. Yeah,
You did
and it's
great.
my first time showing up in such
A podcast.
People, I have just arrived. Calm down.
You're doing so well, and I know people would want you to come back.
Really?
Yeah.
I hope I did well.
You did.
In the true version of it.
Yeah.
And continue blessing lives in the capacity you can and you have. Yeah, and yeah.
We usually have like a closing question, which is, what are you growing through, and what are you glowing through?
Oh, wow.
And by growing, the things that you're still working on, and then glowing is the things that you found some sort of balance with, and you've almost like gotten out of the difficult parts of it, and now you found a level of balance. Yeah, so you can tell me what you're glowing through and what you're growing.
I'm growing through finances and investments and stability for the sake of the generation I'm bringing into the world. So the terms what success would look like for me in that area, I'm still not at the peak of it. So I believe I'm still growing through that. I am glowing through
Fitness, of course.
fitness would be it.
Yeah.
I think I'm in my prime time in that.
For sure.
Whatever the journey has for me, I think I'm ready and I'm willing. And yeah, it's a place I find peace while I'm doing it. So I'm in it for the long haul, not giving up anytime soon.
Yeah.
And I hope it I'm still surrounded by another thing I'd like to add, when I was beginning the journey, I think I found destiny helpers. I didn't just show up and was handled casually by the receptionist, the trainers, what the person who took me in and held my hand through it is called Coach Rashid at Total Fitness Center. I think was a destiny helper. He saw the potential that this woman is here. There's a way where she wants to go, and I'm willing to be part of it. So he was intentionally there. So I hope I never let him down, and glowing into it would, for me, I've won so many souls into this journey, into the fitness journey, be it family, be it friends. They have all joined the healthy lifestyle and active living, courtesy of what they see me do. So I hope that we win many more souls into it, and they meet what they are looking for there. Yes.
That is so nice. This was such a lovely episode. Where do you think people can find you when on social media?
Mostly I like interactions with mostly you can find me on Instagram. That's the space I enjoy most of all the social media handles.
What's your social media handle on Instagram?
Awuor Laura. Yeah. Are they going to follow me?
They will. They definitely will. I feel like you've impacted people's lives from this podcast.
Yeah.
And I thank you so much for coming and making time. And she was 15 minutes early.
I'm
Guys,
always on time.
She's always early. Everywhere. Not the gym, not the podcast, everywhere.
At work.
Everything.
Everywhere.
And that is such, if anything, I was so embarrassed because I'm like, I told her I'll be here by 11. She's here at 10:45 and I'm still putting my wig on. But I really appreciate you making the time.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah.
And thank you for creating such beautiful spaces for people to have honest and open conversation.
I love that.
Yeah. I'm challenged by the last question. Glowing in.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
So you'll keep tabs, take stock and see where you're growing and glowing. So that the grow can now transcend to the glow.
Yeah.
And then you can find other things that you can grow in.
Yes.
That came from one of the masterclasses that I did for makeup, for MAC Cosmetics. And she asked me to come up with a tagline, and I was like, the Glow and Grow Masterclass.
Oh, wow.
So when I was thinking about this, I was like, oh, now we can use
You
that
can
thing.
use that,
Yeah. So thank you
And
so
it's
much.
very interesting.
It is.
Yeah,
I
it
love
is
that.
interesting.
I'm glad you enjoyed this conversation.
I will audit my life further in the course
Because
of
of
the day,
that.
to
Glow
categorize things.
and
Glow
grow.
and glow. Yeah.
That's dope.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for watching or listening. And if it's your first time here, please don't forget to follow, don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and listen to us on our podcast platforms as well. Follow us, The Hat to Mike, and we will see you on the next one. Mwah! Bye.
Bye. See you.